guys. We're still finishing up our reading, and I'm going to start reading now. We're going to work on first hammer. It's time to build and make some noise. I will get some help from the boys. First, we draw our plans for what we want to make. Then we list all the tools and materials it will take. Now we go to the workshop and gather the tools. We work in the shade where it is nice and cool. Next, we cut and hammer for a while. Then our birdhouse is finished and we all smile. The end. Let's see. The next book is called The Way I Feel. Silly. Silly is the way I feel when I make a funny face and wear a goofy poofy hat that takes up a lot of space. I'm shaking because I'm scared, all alone in the dark at night. The thunder and lightning crash and roar. Hold me close and turn on the light. Scared. The smile you see upon my face as the sun shines in the sky shows the world that I feel happy and my mood is soaring high. Happy. Sometimes I feel so very sad and really don't know why. Instead of playing and having fun, I cry and cry and cry. Sad. Angry. Angry is how I feel right now. I shout with a mighty roar. I almost want to frown and growl and stomp upon the floor. I'm bouncing like a rubber ball. I'm more excited than I can say. It's really hard for me to sit when I'd rather jump and play. Excited. Proud. I did it. I shouted to the crowd. Getting dressed by myself makes me feel proud. Feelings come and feelings go. I never know what they'll be. Silly or angry, happy or sad, they're all part of me. The end. A note to parents. There's a note to parents in the back. So that's it. Is honey. It was his second year. I'm back, he said. To bees. It was his second year. I'm back, he said. His stomach growled like another bear as he dug and scraped for things to eat. He remembered honey. Warm, golden, sweet, clear, slowly flowing, spicy, aromatic, sparkling with sunlight. Honey, but it was too soon for honey. He tried to forget, but the warm grass smelled as sweet as the sap seemed as sticky as. And the meadow as gold as the stream and as clear as the berries brushing like honey. It was too soon for honey. Clouds crackled, grumbled in a heavy sky. The days turned hot still. Clouds crackled and grumbled in a heavy sky. With a rush came the rain. He had forgotten how good the rain could be. It splattered on his head and shivered down his back. After it was hot and still again, but still not time for honey. Ouch! Busy bees don't like to be bothered. He soaked his muzzle in the water. It was good and cool. He lay back and watched the fat clouds trundle by. Then he found a waterfall and was very busy for a long time. One day he heard a buzz, and in a flash he ran. It was time for honey. Warm, golden, sweet, clear, slowly flowing, spicy, aromatic, sprinkled with sunlight. Honey just as good as he remembered. He lapped it up, licked it his paws for a long time. Lapped it up and licked his paws for a long time. The nights cooled and the days grew crisp. A sleepy bear sat and remembered the summer and thought how good it had been. The end. This little artist. Painting, shaping, making art with creative joy, hands and heart. Little artists have great big imaginations. This little artist had Italy impressed an architect, painter, and poet. He liked making sculptures best. Michelangelo is famous for painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel for his David and Pieta sculptures. Michelangelo. This little artist chose to portray moms and their kids at home and play. Mary Cousinet painted tender, loving moments with everyday lives of women and children, which was an unusual subject in the late 1800s. This little artist painted pictures of his face, a starry night, and sunflowers in a vase. Vincent van Gogh applied thick paint with wild brushstrokes to show his feelings. This little artist made blue art for a while, switched to rosy colors, then painted Cubist style. Pablo Picasso and George Burke began the Cubanism art movement, showing objects broken into angled shapes. This little artist painted very large flowers, animal skulls, and skyscraping towers. George O'Keeffe sat in her car or camped in a tent to keep away from bugs and the hot sun while painting nature in New Mexico. This little artist built a toy circus from springs, cranks, balloons, buttons, and other small things. Alexander Calder made hanging metal and wire sculptures that are called mobiles or kinetic art because they can move. This little artist liked attention and fun. His melting clocks and wild mustache startled everyone. Salvador Dali was a surrealist. Objects in his art often looked strange or melted. This artist painted her life story with symbols of Mexico to celebrate its glory. Frida Kahlo was often ill in bed, where she would paint with a special easel. She made 55 pictures of herself called self-portraits. This little artist used objects like soup cans to make pop art painting that delighted his fans. Andy Warhol began being as a shy advertising artist. He became a superstar with many famous friends. This little artist was a great poet too. He mixed words with doodles as he painted and drew. Jean-Michel Basquiat used ideas from pop culture, street life, and his Haitian and Puerto Rican heritage in his artwork. Crayons, paper, paint, or clay, what will you use to make art today? The end. The colors of my Jewish year. What is red? The apple I dip in honey and Rosh Hashanah, that is red. What is white? The cover of the Torah on Yom Kippur, that is white. Red, white. What is yellow? The lemon and trog I smell on Sukkot, that is yellow. What is blue? The star of Shemat Torah flag. The star on the Shemat Torah flag, that is blue. What is brown? The dreidels I spin on Hanukkah, they are brown. What is green? The seedlings I plant on Tu B'Shvat, they are green. Brown and green. What is silver? The crown I wear on Purim, in the Purim parade, that is silver. What is purple? The wine in Elijah's cup at our Passover seder, that is purple. Purple, silver. What is orange? The flames of the Sabbath candles, Shabbat candles, they are orange, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple too. The colors of my Jewish New Year, I love them all, don't you? The end. The story of Moses. Long ago, there was a Pharaoh who wanted to get rid of the Israelite baby boys. One mother hid her baby. Pharaoh's daughter found the baby. She named him Moses. When Moses grew up, he went far away and became a shepherd. God spoke to Moses through a burning bush. He said, "Tell Pharaoh to let my people go." Pharaoh let God's people go, but sent his soldiers. God helped Moses part the sea so the people could cross. Moses and God's people got away. God spoke to Moses on a mountaintop. He gave Moses the Ten Commandments. God said to Moses, "These are my laws. Follow them to lead happy lives." The end. Tokyo. Smell the cherry blossoms in the beautiful gardens. Taste the delicious sushi at the fish market. See the imperial palace, which with its moat and stone walls. Say hello to fashionable girls in Harajuku. Harajuku. Touch the snow as it melts quickly on Mount Fuji. Feel peaceful inside the ancient Sensoji Temple. Here, the fireworks at the Katasushika Festival. The end. I'm so brave. I was scared of big dogs, then I made a new friend. I was scared of the water, now I love the deep end. I was scared of the dark, then I saw the stars shine. I was scared of loud horns, then I got to beat mine. I was scared of goodbyes, now I'm happy to wave. I was scared, I'm not scared like before, I'm so brave. The end. And some other books you can find are Now I'm Big, I Can Do It Myself, I Know a Lot. The pigeon has feelings too. Hey, pigeon, why don't you show everybody your happy face? Never. Why should I? Do I get on your bus and tell you how to drive? Boy, you sure know how to make a bird angry. And sad, everyone always tells me what to do. Okay, you don't have to show us your happy face if you don't want to. Yippee, I win! You're looking at one happy pigeon right now. Happy, happy, happy! Wait a second. That bus driver gets me every time. The end. Night, night, baby. It's time to go to bed, but this little baby wants to play instead. The moon in the sky is sleepy, and the bunny and the butterfly too. Time for them to say good night, night. What about you? Cuddle up, little baby, warm and snug. Time for a bedtime hug. A truck on the road is sleepy in a car, and the car and the stars too. Time for them to say night night. What about you? Settle down, little baby. Is that a yawn I see? The choo-choo train and the shiny plane. They're sleepy. The owl tweet too. And what about you, little baby? Are you sleepy too? Close your eyes, little baby. It's time to fall asleep. The cat with her kitten says night night and the cow says moo moo. And what about you? Are you off to bed too? Snuggle up, tired baby. It's time to go to bed. Spotty says night night and all the sleepy fish too. What about you, baby? What would you like to do? Under the starry sky so bright, little baby is tucked in, cozy and tight. Sleep well, sweet dreams, night, night. The end. Dream big, little one. Dream big, little one. There's so much you can do. Just look at all the leaders who came before you. Reach for the stars like May, see Bessie, May, see Bessie, and Catherine. May, Bessie, and Catherine. Mae Jemison went all the way to space. Bessie Coleman flew her airplane high, and Katherine Johnson helped send a man to the moon. Be bold like Josephine, Shirley, and Maya. Josephine Baker was a singer, a dancer, and a spy. Shirley Chisholm ran for president. Maya Angelou used her voice every way she could. Go the distance like Wilma, Raven, and Florence. Wilma Rudolph couldn't walk but learned to run. Raven Wilkinson danced all around the world. Florence Joyner was the fastest woman of all time. Find your stage like Ella, Nina, Oprah, Gwen, and Nichelle. Ella Fitzgerald was the first lady of jazz. Nina Simon had a style of her own. Oprah Winfrey shined her light on others. Gwen Ephil reported the truth. Nichelle Nicholas trekked through the stars on TV. Star Trek and PBS NewsHour. Express your creativity like Alma, Augusta, Octavia, and Julia. Alma Woodsy Thomas painted her whole life and became a star at 80. Augusta Savage sculpted toys when she had none. Octavia E. Butler created magical worlds. Julia Dash shared untold stories in the movies she made. Wherever you go, whatever you do, be bold and dream big. The world is waiting for you. The end. She persisted. Sometimes being a girl isn't easy. At some point, someone may tell you your dreams are impossible. Don't listen to them. These 13 American women didn't. They persisted. Harriet Tubman was born enslaved, but her story of bravery didn't end there. She persisted in escaping from slavery and led her family and friends and strangers to freedom. I should fight for my liberty as long as my strength lasted. Once Helen Keller became blind and deaf, few people thought she'd ever be able to read, write, or speak, but she persisted and learned how to do all three and used her story to work for more opportunities for people with disabilities around the world. One can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar. family fled Ukraine for a new home in New York City. Clara Lemich got a job working at a factory with terrible conditions. She persisted and helped secure better conditions for thousands of workers. I'm I am one of those who suffers from the abuse described here. I move that we go on a general strike. Nellie BLY was determined to become a reporter, even though some men said it wasn't something women could do. At times, putting her safety at risk, she persisted throughout her career in exploring how badly people were being treated. I never, I have never written a word that did not come from my heart. I never shall. From an early age, Virginia Apgar was determined to be a doctor. She persisted in creating the Apgar score to test the newborn baby's health, which hospitals all over the world still use today. Nobody is going to stop breathing on me. Maria Maria Talchief was teased in school for her Native American heritage and later told to change her name to something that sounded Russian. She persisted, ignoring the taunting and bad advice, to become the first great American prima ballerina. I was It never occurred to me to say it hurts to do that. As a 15-year-old African American girl, Claudette Claudette Colvin was expected to give up her seat on the bus to a white woman. In her refusal to get up, she persisted in taking a stand for what's right, inspiring others, including Rosa Parks, to stay seated for equal rights and justice. I know then, I know now that when it comes to justice, there is no easy way to get it. You can't sugarcoat it. You have to take a stand and say, this is not right. When Ruby Bridges was in kindergarten, many schools still refused African American students their equal rights education. She had to walk through protesters to get to school, but she persisted in integrating an all-white elementary school in New Orleans. That fateful walk to school began a journey, and we all must work together to continue moving forward. As the first woman to serve as both a U.S. representative and a U.S. senator, Margaret Chase Smith could have let that be her legacy. Instead, she persisted in campaigning women's rights, standing up for free speech, and supporting a space exploration. The right way is not always the popular and easy way. Standing for right when it is unpopular is a true test of moral character. Sally Ride always believed women should succeed in any math or science career. She persisted and became the first American woman in space, and they created a program to help generations of young women achieve their dreams. Young girls need to see role models in whatever career they may choose, just so they can picture themselves doing these jobs someday. You can't be what you can't see. When as a kid Florence Griffith Joyner visited her father, he would urge her to run as fast as a jackrabbit. She persisted in believing and she could. She persisted in believing she could, and at the 1988 Summer Olympics became the fastest woman ever. When anyone tells me I can't do anything, I'm just not listening anymore. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey's grandmother expected Oprah to become a maid. Oprah knew that her dreams would take her somewhere else. She persisted and became a media superstar, hosting the highest rated talk show of all. The biggest adventure you can ever take to life is to live the life of your dreams. Watching fictional judges on television inspired Sonia Sotomayor to want to be a real life judge. She persisted, eventually becoming a Supreme Court justice and the first ever Latin to sit on America's highest court. So if anyone ever tells you no, if anyone ever says your voice isn't important or your dreams are too big, remember these women. They persisted, and so should you. I have never had to face anything that could overwhelm the native optimism and stubborn perseverance I was blessed with. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. When anyone tells me I can't do anything, I'm just not listening anymore. The end. Today, I'll be a princess. Today, I'll be a princess. I'll get to wear pretty dresses that swish and swirl. And sparkly shoes that make me feel fancy. I'll ride in a royal carriage wherever I go. And wear the most beautiful crown covered with jewels. But Mommy says princesses don't get to play in mud. Maybe I'll be a princess tomorrow. The end. Whoever you are. Little one, whoever you are. Wherever you are, there are little ones just like you all over the world. They're different. Their skin may be different from yours, and their homes may be different from yours. Their schools may be different from yours. And their lands may be different from yours. Their lives may be different from yours, and their words may be very different from yours. But inside, their hearts are just like yours, whoever they are, wherever they are, all over the world. Their smiles are like yours, and they laugh just like you. Their hurts are like yours, and they cry like you too, whoever they are, wherever they are, all over the world. Little one, when you are older and when you are grown, you may be different. And they may be different wherever you are, wherever they are in this big wide world. But remember this: joys are the same and love is the same. Pain is the same, blood is the same. Smiles are the same and hearts are just the same wherever they are, wherever you are, wherever we are. All over the world. The end. Please, baby, please. Go back to bed, baby. Please, baby, please. Not on your head, baby, 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 please. Keep off the wall, baby, baby, please, baby. You share that ball, please, baby, baby, baby. Don't eat the sand, baby, 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 please. Uh-oh, she's eating the sand. Now hold my hand, baby, baby, please, baby. It's time to go, please, baby, please. Baby doesn't want to go. Don't be so slow, baby, 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 please. Slow. Please eat your peas, baby, 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 baby. Don't be a tease, baby, baby, please, baby. Please don't splash, baby, baby, please, baby. Oh, no. No, in the trash. Baby, 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 baby. In the trash. Uh-oh, baby's gonna throw a diaper in her toy chest. Now, you sleep tight, please, baby, please. Kiss me goodnight, mama, mama. Mama, please. Baby wants a kiss goodnight. The end. Mama kissed the baby. I love you to the moon and back. I love you to the moon and back. I love you. I love our time together as we start each happy day. I love our bath time, silliness, the way we splash and play. I love to lift you up way up high so you feel really tall. We climb the highest mountaintops. Hold tight and you won't fall. I love to share the magic of the shining skies above. And think of all the different ways that we can show our love. Like when we're touching noses, playing chase, or seeing friends. Our love is always with us, it never ends. So snuggle safely in my arms, our day is nearly done. I love you to the moon and the stars, my precious little one. The end. I'm a police officer. I'm a police officer. Early morning in Teenyville town, and I'm ready for work. After roll call at the station, I head out on my beat. I'm here to protect and serve the citizens of Tinyville town. No task is too big or too small. I never know what the day will bring. Help! Oh no, the bakery and the grocery store have been robbed. I need a description of the culprit. Oh, big ears, long tail, likes bananas and donuts. That rings a bell. Let's follow these clues. Looks like our predator is having a picnic. What a messy thief. I finish my shift and head back home. On the streets of Tinyville town, I have to be ready for anything. I'm a police officer. The end. Precious Moments, Winter Wonderland. Jack Frost came along last night, and now the world's wintry white. We build a snowman when it snows, with coal for eyes and a carrot nose. The deer and bunnies love the snow and leave their paw prints as they go. When snow upon the earth has spread, we love to ride our little sled. Winter is frosty and often freezy. It makes us sniffly and sometimes sneezy. When outside there is a winter storm, hot chocolate keeps our insides warm. On winter nights, it's nice to look at the pictures in our favorite book, and then it's time to go to sleep beneath the covers, warm and deep. It feels like winter's here to stay, but spring will soon be on its way. The end. Beautiful blessings, precious moments. The Lord teaches us that if we live a good life, we will be blessed. He says, when those in need ask for your help, try to give them more than they ask for. He says, when you are sad or worried, tell the Lord about it. He will comfort you. He says, it is easy to love those who are good to you, but try hard to love those who aren't so kind to you. He says, blessed are the peacemakers. They will surely be called the children of God. He makes us all feel loved and cared for. His name is Jesus. The end. Aristocrats. the aristocrats. Marie, you are going to be as beautiful as your mother, said Madame. Isn't she, Duchess? Duchess smiled. She and her 3 kittens lived with Madame in a beautiful house in Paris. The cats loved Madame, and she loved them. The kittens were very talented. Toulouse was learning to paint, Marie was learning to sing, and Brilozzi was learning to play the piano. Madame appreciated the kittens' talent, but Edgar, the butler, did not appreciate the mess they made. I'm not a butler, he grumbled to himself. I'm a cat sitter for 4 spoiled aristocrats. One day, Madame's lawyer stopped for a visit. George, I like to leave my fortune to my beloved cats, Madame told him. I'm sure Edgar will be glad to take care of them when I'm gone. Edgar heard everything Madame said, but he was not glad at all. Those cats must go, Edgar muttered. That night, the greedy butler put sleeping pills in the cat's cream. A slip of the hand and it's off to dreamland, he chuckled. The pills went plip-plop into the pot. I'll take them far away, then Madame will leave her fortune to me. Dinner was delicious. The cats gladly shared it with their friend Roquefort the mouse. Roquefort dipped his cracker into the bowl. My compliments to the chef, he said. It's cream a la Edgar, Marie told him. Roquefort went to get another cracker, but he fell asleep as soon as he reached his hole. Soon all the cats were sound asleep too. Edgar carefully put them in their baskets. Madame had gone to bed. The house was quiet. Edgar drove the cats far away from the city. These cats will never find their way back to Paris, the butler said to himself. Edgar's noisy motorcycle rumbled along the ground, but Duchess and her kittens didn't wake up. Suddenly, the motorcycle hit a large bump in the road. Edgar's hat flew off his head. The basket full of sleeping cats bounced out of the sidecar. It landed under a bridge, but Edgar didn't stop. Instead, he hurried back to the city. When they woke up the next morning, Duchess and the kittens had a very unpleasant surprise. Where are we, Mama? Asked Toulouse. Don't worry, children, Duchess assured them. I will find a way for us to get back to Madame, but she did not know what to do. Just then Duchess saw another cat. He was just an alley cat, but he looked very friendly. Hi there, called the cat. The name's Abraham Delucy Guspe, cat Casey Thomas O'Malley. What's yours? Duchess, she answered. Beautiful, just like those blue eyes, O'Malley purred. Duchess blushed. Would you tell us how to get back to the city? Tell your fair lady, replied O'Malley. Why, I'll take you there on my magic carpet. Hooray, cheered the kittens. One magic carpet coming up, O'Malley shouted. He pointed to a milk truck rattling down the road. O'Malley jumped onto the front of the milk truck. He hissed, he howled. The truck screeched to a halt. The driver got out of the truck to look for O'Malley. Where is that silly cat? The driver wondered. He didn't see who was climbing into the back of his truck. O'Malley's magic carpet had plenty of milk. Duchess and the kittens enjoyed breakfast, but soon the driver noticed his passengers. Jump, cried O'Malley. The cat jumped out of the milk truck. Don't worry, he told Duchess. I'll make sure you'll get home. Just follow me, said O'Malley. He led them through the pretty countryside. O'Malley is so smart, said Marie. O'Malley is so brave, said Toulouse. When I grow up, said Burlazon, I'm going to be just like O'Malley. They came to some railroad tracks. O'Malley decided to follow the tracks to the city. As they walked across a railroad bridge, the kittens pretended to be a train. Choo-choo, choo-choo. hummed Marie. Clickety clack, buzzed Berzoo. Woo-hoo, rustled Toulouse. Woo-hoo, answered the real train, and it was right behind them. Don't panic, shouted O'Malley. Everyone got out of the tracks just in time. Hold on, Children Duchess called. But the train shook the bridge and Marie lost her grip. Mama, she called as she fell into the cold water below. O'Malley did a daring dive and quickly pulled Marie out of the river. Thank you, Thomas, said Duchess gratefully. You have saved my daughter's life. Back in Paris, the newspapers confirmed that the cats had been kidnapped. Roquefort was looking for clues. He was talking to Frou Frou, the horse, when Edgar appeared. The butler seemed upset. My cat, he cried. If they find it, they'll know I'm the kidnapper. Now Roquefort knew the truth. But where were his friends? His friends were in Paris. We can stay in my penthouse, paid for the night, O'Malley said. He led them up to the rooftops. Wow, this is great, explained Toulouse. Music drifted out of an open skylight. Listen to that music, Berlos. That's jazz, O'Malley told them, and those musicians are friends of mine. They went inside. O'Malley introduced Duchess to Scat Cat and the band. O'Malley and Scat Cat sang a song. Everyone danced. It isn't Beethoven, Mama, but it sure bounces, giggly Berzaloo. Let's swing it, Thomas laughed. Duchess, they had lots of fun. After the party was over, Duchess and O'Malley admired a full moon. I'm going to miss you, beautiful, and those kittens too, admitted O'Malley. We will miss you, Duchess said softly, but tomorrow we must go home to Madame. I'm sure she's worried. I guess you know the best side, O'Malley. The kittens were watching from a window. Well, we almost had a father, Berzaloy said quietly. When Edgar opened the door the next morning, he got the shock of his life. The cats had returned. Me first, cried Marie. The kittens ran into the house. I'll never forget you, Thomas O'Malley, purred Duchess. So long, the alley cat replied. As soon as the door was closed, Edgar put the cats in a sack. I'll send these cats to Timbuktu, he declared. Edgar locked them in a trunk and in the van. He left to call for a shipping van. Luckily, Roquefort had seen everything. The brave mouse ran for help. He found O'Malley first. O'Malley told the mouse to get Scat Cat's band to help too. When Edgar returned to the barn, he had a big surprise waiting for him. Scat Cat and his band took care of Edgar. Meanwhile, Roquefort and O'Malley freed Duchess and the kittens. Duchess and the kittens quickly jumped out of the trunk. Then Frou Frou pushed Edgar in. After thanking her friends, Duchess and the kittens had a happy reunion with Madame O'Malley. Went along since Duchess seemed to find O'Malley. Madame invited him to stay. The shipping van came. Edgar was driven off to Timbuktu. Madame never saw him again, so she told her lawyer to change her will. Very well, said George. Scratch one butler, and with a few more strokes of pen, O'Malley was added to the will. O'Malley was a very good father. With a bit of grooming, he was also a fine aristocrat. The cats made such a fine family that Madame decided to take a family picture. You know, Madame said, if Edgar had only known about the will, I'm sure he would never have left, especially since I've decided to open my home to all the cats of Paris. Duchess and O'Malley just smiled. The end. Merry Christmas, Merry Crow. What holiday surprise is this crow preparing? Merry Christmas, Merry Crow. Winds a blowin', skies a snowin', where's this feathered fella goin'? Round the chimneys, over the yards, down the busy boulevards. Button here, a feather here, a crow can find things anywhere. A strand of tinsel, twigs and twine, berries from a twisty vine. Cross the plaza, through the zoo, along the crowded avenue. A shiny ring, a piece of string, a length of garland glimmering, colored glass, a bottle cap, fancy gold and silver wrap. Behind the market, past the shops, this crow is making all the stops. A broken chain, a lonely sock, a single key without its lock. Someone scrapes some scraps of cloth and crimson bow, a perfect spring of mistletoe. Hustle bustle coming soon, so much busy to and fro. What's his hurry? What's his mission? What's his secret expedition? A silky flower, a paper star, a misbegotten racing car, candy wrappers red and brown, a treasure lost, a treasure found. Atop a flagpole amidst the seats, upon up and down snowy streets. Jaggly tags and a teeny wheel, a locust curl of orange peel, a string of beads, a tinkly bell. What's he doing? Will he tell? One last stop, a bag of seeds. That's everything this tired crow needs. A flap of wings, a circle, a cry of glee, the perfect Christmas tree. A magic sight, all hearts aglow. Merry Christmas, Merry Crow. The end. Why we eat fried peanuts. Why we eat fried peanuts. Now it feels like the New Year's celebration is really starting, Dad said, picking up a freshly fried peanut with his chopsticks. Ming, have one. Yum, Dad. Why do we eat fried peanuts every New Year? When I was a little boy, your great grandma always told me to eat more peanuts so I could live long and be strong, and everyone always listened to your great grandma. Great grandma was the most warm-hearted person in the world, and she always helped everyone, Dad said. Every generation, great grandma's siblings, my dad, me, and you, we all learn from her kindness and bravery. That's why I have to kneel and talk to great grandma by her grave every day. Tomb sweeping day. Kwangming Festival, or Qingmingji, is when we sweep the tombs of our loved ones who have died to honor them when we kneel to talk to our ancestors. They bless us and pray for us for good fortune, Dad explained. So great grandma is always looking after us, Ming asked with excitement. In our culture, we believe the spirit lives on after death. This is why we don't live just for ourselves. We represent our ancestors like your great grandmother, our family legend in everything we do. Many years ago, your great grandmother took care of the family and was the head of the household. She was great at sewing clothes, making sure that the family had everything they needed for meals and that all the chores and errands were done. When she spoke, everyone listened, and Dad said with pride, "Wow, I want to be like great grandmother." What was her name? Well, we don't know. You don't know your grandmother's name? Family histories didn't always include women's names. We lost your great grandmother's name, but we would always remember her story. In early winter of 1926, great grandmother was taking a walk in her neighborhood in Beijing, a city in China. She passed a pregnant woman who looked a few years younger than her. This is strange, great grandmother thought. I've never seen this young woman before. She must be new here. But why is she by herself? I should probably help her. Have you eaten today? Great grandmother asked the woman warmly. The woman didn't answer and tried to walk away. When are you due to give birth? Great grandmother asked. Following, can I help you? I don't need help, said the woman before running away. Something doesn't feel right about this, great grandmother thought. I must find her. Over the next few days, great grandmother took longer walks going to different places around the city to look for the woman. One day she wandered into a small alley she had never been before and spotted one house with an open gate. How odd, thought great grandmother. She walked inside and heard the cry of a baby. The woman from out of town must have had her baby, great grandmother guessed, but there was something wrong with the baby's cry. It was weak. That great grandmother could barely hear it. Something was wrong, and when things went wrong, great grandma was always the first to act. With no time to waste, she ran toward the cities, toward the cries. So great grandmother followed the cries to the living room. She found the baby cold and not being cared for. She quickly wrapped the baby in a warm blanket, holding the baby tight. Great grandmother looked for the mother, who was crying in the corner. Shh, good baby. Wait, Ming stopped eating her peanuts. Why wasn't the mom taking care of the baby? That's so cruel. Dad shook his head. She was not cruel. This was a different time, and a war was about to start. The woman's husband was called away to be a soldier. She couldn't afford to raise a child by herself. She had no choice. Dad explained gently. Wow, we are so lucky, Ming said. Great-grandmother was determined to save the baby, so she did something she had only done for her ancestors during Guaming festival. She kneeled on the floor. I'm from a good family. Please let me take the baby home and care for him. The woman knew that kneeling was a special way to show respect. So when she saw this, she knew great-grandmother's offer was a serious one and agreed. Great-grandmother took the baby back to her family and nicknamed him Little Peanut. She hoped that he would take after the hardy peanut plant and get strong and healthy in his new life. Little Peanut lived in a happy home as one of great-grandmother's children. When he grew up, he became an engineer and enjoyed playing the erhu, a Chinese musical instrument. Little Peanut was the life of the party wherever he went. Your great uncle Little Peanut is now 99 years old, explained Dad. Why do you think great grandmother always told me to eat more peanuts? A small snack can have a big meaning and can be an everyday reminder of our important family legends. It's too bad we don't know great grandmother's name, Ming sighed. She was known for her kindness, so her name became Kindness, Dad said. And as we celebrate Lunar New Year, we remember great grandmother's story and show kindness to our loved ones each day. The end. Astorta Goldberg, Passover in Outer Space. Astoria Goldberg, Passover in Space. Astoria and her parents enjoyed their gigantic flight as she zipped them home from Pluto to prepare for Seder night. Attention Goldberg rocket, you'll have to wait to land. Oh, Passover in outer space was not what they had planned. What would a Seder be in space? The grown-ups had no clue, but their space whiz asteroid took a more creative view. She flung the fridge door open. Pastrami flew from rye. Bagels floated far from lox. She watched their chamots fly. Where will we find pishka food? Asked her parents with dismay. We'll find it all in space. Our pantry's the Milky Way. She aimed their ship towards Jupiter, so many yummy moons. Matzo balls, said Asteroid. All we need are spoons. She grabbed a hold of the Big Dipper. What a perfect ladle. A starry spoon to help her scoop each delicious kneadle. Now Where could she find matzah? She couldn't wait so much. She broke a piece of Saturn's rings, the perfect Pishka crunch. Then she headed back to Jupiter with its spot, horseradish red, such a tasty bitter herb for the unleavened bread. Now their food was almost ready. It would soon be cedar night. She peered into the telescope. What guests could she invite? Grandma Luna biked on Venus. Uncle Cosmos hiked on Mars. Aunt Andromeda and cousin Cora were giving tours of all the stars. Each guest opened a Haggadah, sang the order of the evening, then drank from a space kiddush cup while zero gravity leaning. Soon Dad hid the Afikantamun and remembered them. No peeking. This would be asteroid's first cedar with intergalactic seeking. Manishka came next. Asteroid started to sing. What makes this night so different? The answer, everything. No, let my people go. Asteroid acted out the story of Egyptian slavery without the pull of gravity. She really did feel free. Finally came dinner, which was just a bit bizarre. She liked her matzo balls to float, but this might go too far. Asteroid popped the hatch for Elijah's space debut. She looked outside and heard a voice. It was Houston coming through. The Goldberg ship can land, but astronauts shouted, "No, this cedar wasn't long enough. It can't be time to go." Asteroid said, "Let's stay the week, then head on back to base." Her family all agreed. Next year in outer space. The end.